Welcome to the Entertainment Rants Podcast, your number one opinion source for all things entertainment. Join host Marco Mazzola as he sounds off on the latest movies, TV, music, gaming, comic books, and more. Now, here's the man of the hour, Marco Mazzola.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Entertainment Rants Podcast. I am, as always, your host, Marco Mazzola. We are once again joined by our caveat of ranters. Let's start the room off this time with Larry.
Hey.
Hey, Mila.
Oh, hey.
Hey, and hello, Bruno.
You're ruining my life.
That's what these last three episodes are doing to everybody.
My life is ruined.
My life is completely ruined. Shut
You don't
hell.
understand.
So this week, we are reviewing in our last of the mind-switching episodes, we were reviewing Freaky Friday from, what was it, 2003, I believe, with
Yes.
Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan before she lost the plot and went fucking cuckoo.
She's back, though.
Yeah, she's trying to make a little more
getting
comeback.
away.
Well, wasn't it
Getting
just
away.
that she was partying too much, right?
She's just partying too much, and I feel bad.
She fell into that whole thing.
I joke
She was
about it,
one.
but
I don't blame her.
Totally,
She went off.
When I was
Yeah.
watching this movie, I was like, man, I feel bad for her. Like, she had a really promising career.
She really did.
And she was really, like, she was Mean Girls and all that stuff. She was really good. Like, she was a great child actor, and like, as she got older, she was getting really good, and just got caught up in that Hollywood.
Yeah.
Look,
And it happens, man.
She was popular.
Yeah, she just got caught up in it, man.
Yeah.
I would say I'll never be in that situation. I can't even imagine the pressure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The glam or the glitz and the lights and what that really does to a person, and how easy it would be just to get caught up and swept up in all that.
Yeah.
I was
You know what I
listening
mean?
to a podcast with
Amazing more people
Sandra.
don't fall into that.
I was listening to a podcast with Sandra Bullock, and she was talking about how she wants to make sure that her kids are, quote unquote, fully baked before they get into whatever they're doing. In other words, she doesn't want her kids to become child actors because she sees what happens. And
Yep.
and I totally understand
You know
that.
that it doesn't
And Lindsay
work.
got
Like, you can
sucked
do
up by
it.
that.
You can do it and come out unscathed. It's just a lot of fucking work.
Well,
to do
not for
that.
nothing, Drew
Like, it's a
Barrymore is
lot.
one of them.
Yeah.
Drew Barrymore was absolutely a child actor that got all sorts of wrapped up into that shit.
Yeah.
And because of the film...
Macaulay Culkin.
Macaulay Culkin's
Yep.
another. So you saw a lot of it, and some of them managed to come back out.
Yeah, some of them didn't.
Drew Barrymore, I use that as an example because she was able to come back out and then create this new life for her or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I said, like I just saw it on the news not like last week or something
Justin
like that.
Bieber, not an actor, but a child, but famous
Yeah.
millionaire.
I mean, you've got the ones that go through the shit and then they come out, and then unfortunately you have some ones that go through it and then don't come out of it.
Yeah.
Like not so long ago, we had Aaron Carter, who who took his own life.
And what was the name of there was a bunch of people from back in the 80s.
Different Strokes.
Different
Dave
Strokes.
Oh,
Plato,
yes.
Gary
Yes.
Coleman,
All
Todd
those guys,
Bridges.
right?
Like
Yeah.
Todd Bridges was
Todd-
able to
well,
come
Todd
through.
Bridges
He
came
was
out of it,
older.
the
Plato didn't. She's
the girl
long
she
gone.
passed. Gary Coleman went through his own shit.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he also had
long
parent
time.
issues. I think they were taking all his money.
Yeah.
Well, that's another thing that you again that wraps up. I
happens.
feel with the whole thing, same thing happened with Britney Spears with her
Right.
parents that were involved.
Yeah,
So
dirtbags.
being these child actors and growing up in that lifestyle and that limelight and having, like you said, Marco, with all that pressure coming down on them, I'm surprised that it doesn't happen more often.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
child ones, right?
Yeah.
So you have to look at some of these instead of shitting on some
But
of
look
these
at your
ones
River
that went
Phoenixes and things like that who have,
so instead of
caught
when you
up
look
and
at the ones that are going through to go, no, you let your life go away. Like, you need to understand that this shit happens, and you have to commend the ones who
They
got
need
out
the
of it.
support. There should be a better support system out there for children
because
in
it
the
can't just
industry.
be their parents, because their parents, for the most part, unless you're a Drew Barrymore whose parents were also in the business,
Right.
a lot of times the parents are in the business, so they have no idea.
They don't know what kind of support
You know what I mean?
you
It's like
need.
somebody,
Or worse,
who
the
is
people
a
like
drug
Jeanette
addict whose
McCurdy's
parents have never
parents.
dealt with it. How do they
She
know
was
how to
at
deal with it? They
iCarly.
don't.
Yeah.
Sam, yeah, she played
I
Sam.
did hear that, yeah.
She was in what?
Oh my God, Jeanette McCurdy. She played Sam Puckett on iCarly.
Okay.
And sometimes you get times where the parents are basically just feeding off of the kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's basically, she wrote a whole book about it and everything.
using their money.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
That's there's a bunch of shitbags, honestly, parenting. I see red when I see parents taking advantage of their kids or not treating them the right way. It drives me crazy.
Yeah.
Right, because you expect more. I mean,
Yeah.
you're a
supposed
parent,
to be a
so
role model.
come on,
You're
man.
supposed to be
Right.
Like,
teaching these
smarten up,
kids.
right?
Yeah, come on. You're a fucking dirtbag.
But again, just like the kids getting thrown into that kind of situation, same thing, and same thing happens with the parents, right? The parents like, I don't know what to do. What should I do? Okay, this is how I'm gonna do it. And then they get used to that kind of like lifestyle, you know. So they're like, well, shit. My kid's making money. I'm gonna make money. I'm gonna use that money, and you know. And I think that's something in their head, kind of, you know, a switch turns. You know, again, or just like the kids, the parents sometimes kind of shit the bed because the manager of the kid, the one that's supposed to be taken care of, you know, the kid, kind of, they manipulate the parents as well.
Yeah, but you're right. I
mean,
bad managers are out there.
Of course, I'm not saying they're all like that. They're certainly not all like that. You can't do that to any group, but you know, there are definitely the bad ones out there who that's their living. Is through this other person,
and
this person needs to keep pumping money.
Right.
Otherwise,
money by
they
proxy.
don't get paid.
I mean,
they're a meal ticket to those people. They're again to the bad ones. I'm not.
Did you? I
commenting
don't
on
know if you guys have seen it. Have you seen the new movie Elvis?
No.
Okay, if you haven't, first of all, it's a really good biopic.
Looks good.
It was really good. I
watched
watched it twice. I'm really good, but that story is about the general.
Sure.
His manager.
More than Elvis.
Right.
Yeah.
From what I understand. Yeah.
So it's basically it's supposed to be a story through his manager's point of view, right?
Yeah.
And it basically kind of tells you how manipulative he was as a manager, right? Because he's like, oh no, I'm gonna take care of you. You know, you're just a little hick, and then he makes Elvis's father his manager. Like basically just a name, so he like kind of gives the parents. He gives his
Makes
father
him feel
that
important.
sense. As a point, he's like, oh, you know, Elvis needs to do this, but hey, if you think he should do something else, and then his father's like, well, you know,
you know better.
You know better than I do, so yeah, okay, we'll do it. So kind of that whole movie is basically his manager manipulating the situation, and so like that shit's real. It happens.
A lot of bad people.
So it manipulates the parents and the kids, and then the kids get all wrapped up and. By the time you're 18, 19 years old, you're not getting carted at bars. People are handing you stuff hand over fist, whatever you want.
You're
surrounding yourself with
you have
yes
no idea how to
men.
deal with.
Right. So
You're not trained to deal with.
You end up dead outside the Viper Lounge.
Exactly. And then people are like, oh shit, what happened here?
Yeah. Oh, and it was his fault, right? Like,
Of course.
Yeah. So anyway.
But that being said,
8 minutes in, let's get actually back to the movie.
Yeah.
So Freaky Friday, right?
Short time we'll get this one done. So let's go back to Freaky Friday, starring Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan. So again, we have our brain transferring.
So this was definitely a lot of more Asian voodoo.
it was definitely voodoo.
More like quote unquote Asian voodoo that was
76.
kind of questionable. Even the woman that gives them the Portrait cookies is very
my god! And this one was what, 2003, so almost 20 years old.
Yeah,
and it's still like wow, like this is the Asian.
But it wasn't as bad as
it wasn't
used to be.
Bad. Though.
Yeah, no,
it was, and I'll tell you why. Not only did you have the mother who's into the Asian, the dark magic, and I got this fortune cookie. You also had the shop owner,
the
daughter who's like constantly trying to cater, and she's like, I do, like this wicked bad, like typical Chinese food store, like shop
so it's
owner.
a Chinese food restaurant, right?
Chinese food restaurant, just like playing that typical like almost Christmas Story, fa ra 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 ra. I'm like, oh my god, it's like playing the trope of like I'm gonna cater your thing. I'm super pushy. Right, because like that's kind of like that's a stereotype that like Chinese food, like they're super pushy. Like I'm gonna push myself on you to cater your wedding and things like that. And she wouldn't let up.
I mean, I just saw that as someone who was trying to get more business.
Yeah, it to me it was more like
you're just looking for something to be upset about.
I really was. God damn it! I found it.
I got you, man. I got you.
It was that just seemed a little off for me.
But I thought the Asian voodoo trope was again like all right.
Yeah, for me it was the Asian voodoo trope.
Yeah,
but because it could have been anything. They could have been a Moroccan restaurant, a Venezuela food, Cuban food. Like, there's a lot of
everything you've mentioned is something that's a minority.
No, I know that.
So are you saying Venezuelan magic would be different?
You might not find the manager of Burger King into the dark magic, but like if you think about it, like where does a lot of that come from?
Right, but I think that part of it though is from the mysticism.
So
and where else? Like where does voodoo come from? You know what I mean? Things like that.
So if you want to make it like legitimate voodoo from Africa, I don't think there's an easy way to avoid.
No, I don't think so.
All you have to do is try not to be racist about it.
Yeah, it's just like overtly for me.
I feel like there's a way. I can't think of it, but there's a way. I think you can do it without.
I think so too.
I don't know.
So racist around the sides.
I agree.
Because that's what they do all the time.
It wasn't just the mother. and her like having the magic and pushing it on them. It dwindled down to the daughter, who was the very stereotypical Chinese food restaurant owner.
There's also the soundtrack gongs they'll use.
I mean, all right, that's fine. I hear what you're saying. I didn't get that. I just got her as a. She seemed like a fairly modern, and then when her mother was doing stuff, she was trying to like shut her mother down,
yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So at least she wasn't like subscribing to it and furthering it.
I'd say it was better than the other.
She just struck me as someone who didn't speak English very well, and there's plenty of those people in every race and every ethnicity.
I just seemed like, do we need to do? Do we need that?
I felt that they just leaned on the Orient mysticism.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Because that's basically what it is. You know, and you had the mother that's from the old school of way of thinking with the mysticism. Because even the daughter was like, "Mom, stay out of their business. Stop butting in. Like, I know what you're trying to do."
Yes.
And then when shit went down, like she was like, "Did you give her the cookie?" Like she knew about it. She was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? You gave him the cookie?
Right.
Like I told you to stay out of there." Right? So I didn't take it as like a racist trope or like that. I just looked at it as, hey, we need to do this mind switch in a way that hasn't been done before. We're not going to make it a fucking potion. We're not going to make it wish on a skull. Which again, those in itself are kind of fucking racist. You had one of them was the Navajo Indians.
One was an Indian racist, and one was
the Navajo Native Americans.
Yeah.
The other one was the Lama Dama Ding Dong with the skull. So it's like you have these other things.
God.
Yeah, they're all gone. Sorry, it's only us talking. Bogort's on, Lama
Just the
Ding
four of
Dong.
us.
Just the four of us talking here. So in the other ones, you had already
I
like
hit record and then.
oh yeah, you already had those ideas of mysticism and spookiness or what's good. So this isn't that far away from it, right? So I didn't look at it as, oh my god, I can't believe they're doing that. No, they just went a different way. They went with the Asian mysticism.
Yeah.
And look, let's all be honest. We're all martial artists here. I dig that shit. So like I look at it like, and I want to know about like that kind of shit. Like I'm interested in that stuff. So for me, I didn't.
It was really just the daughter that got to me.
I mean, man,
Like,
I could see that. Maybe it was the
her character got to me. Like it's just like that kept the most like racist for me.
So when I was watching this, my wife came and she was like, "Oh my god, so wait to see her like play like that." I go, "What do you mean?" She goes, "Oh, because she's like done in these other movies where she's very straight laced and very, very focused."
The daughter.
The daughter, yeah.
Okay.
She,
whatever her name is,
I forgot what she was at, but she had said these things. Like one of them was some sort of doctor show, whatever. And I was
Did
like,
she have the accent?
No.
There you go.
So that's what
There you go.
I don't think she had a strong accent in this movie.
No, it was pretty bad.
Yeah, so I see what you're saying with that.
Like this
It's like
this woman
they play her
who doesn't have that accent in real life,
Right.
you forced her to use the accent to make it more real that she owns a Chinese food restaurant, as if a person who owns it has to have that
All right,
accent.
man. Okay.
And can't just. So I go to
I can
China
see
Sky in
that part.
Winchester.
When they go like,
the woman
can you
owns it
just
does not have that
pump it
strong
up
of
a
an
little
accent.
bit?
I know.
And like, how
I know what
Asian
you
can
mean.
you sound or seem?
Yeah.
Times
And they
10.
go,
Yeah, crank that up. Crank that up.
Like, I was born in like San Francisco, dude. Like, I was born in New York. What?
What, exactly.
All right, if you really want me to, okay.
So
I mean,
anyway.
I do get that point.
So
Yeah.
anyway,
That being
moving
said,
on. Moving on. That's my
So
soapbox.
Freaky Friday, right?
Yeah.
Freaky Friday.
Friday.
So it's got like mind swappings, right? That's
They do
true.
that mind
swapping.
swapping. I will say this: out of the three of them,
I liked it the most.
I like
Same.
first of all, I like this one the most out of all three of
Yeah.
them. But I think that they handled the swap so much better
Yes.
than the others. The swap happened. They went, "Holy shit! What do we do?" And I laughed. And they're like, "I don't know. Let's just run into each other. See if that changes."
That was
Yeah,
funny.
that was their
like
first
bad
choice. It was like,
decision.
They
what if
both
we-
were on
like a
board with
shock?
trying to change it
Let's
back,
try to
right?
change
Yeah.
this back right
It wasn't
now.
like the son was like, "Oh no, I'm not going to change this. I'm the dad now," and then he like. And vice versa,
It's-
when the son is now in the father's body and he picks up his son, he's like, "I'm the dad now." I was like, "Fuck off."
Yeah, right.
You know?
So I feel that again, this is more of the adult and a teenager,
Yeah.
right? So it's like we come right out the gate. It's the overworked single parent, or
Yeah.
going to be married again, but it's the overworked parent with the bratty teenage angst child, and it's you don't know my life, and you have
You're ruining my life.
You're ruining my life, and fuck this. But I like this one a little bit better because you had more of the family dynamic.
Yeah.
Yes.
You got the little brother. You got the
that brother.
The brother cracked me up.
Fuck that brother.
You got
like
the,
a dick.
I love the
got the
Love that kid.
grandfather.
If I was her on a daily basis,
grandfather
I'd be
was funny.
beating that
It's an
child.
earthquake.
Yeah.
Earthquake. So funny.
I'm sorry. If I was Lindsay Lohan's character on a daily basis, I'd be beating that brother.
Oh, well,
And the
yeah.
shit he did, and the mother's just like, what? And he's like going through her shit, and he's in a room. That kid be bounced off every goddamn wall.
Yeah, but they
Fuck
made
him.
Lindsay Lohan handle it poorly because it's part of the story, right?
Part of the
And
story,
then they
yeah.
also made it so that Jamie Lee Curtis, as the mom, missed everything that he did and always caught
What is she, a
Lindsay
soccer
Lohan-
ref?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, when you have
For the
two
case
kids-
of the story,
When you have two kids,
you
you're
got
the
two
ref.
children.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Right?
I am
So you
constantly refereeing
trying to
between my
figure out
kids.
who did what and how.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
wait,
like,
what
Yeah.
what
But
happened
they're
here?
in the car.
You asked-
He fucking flicks her right
Well,
next
she
to the
didn't
mother.
see
She
that.
didn't see it. That she didn't see it. She's right there.
She didn't see it.
No,
She's
dude,
driving.
right there.
She didn't see it. That's it. She didn't see it. And so then Lindsay turns around and slaps him, and the mom's like, "What are you doing?" Like, so they made
Yeah.
it. They did a good job of that. Like, I'm constantly like asking my older, "What happened?" And then I've got to decide: is he lying? Is he telling me the truth?
Who said what?
Yeah,
Who
yeah.
did
And then
what?
is it likely that thing you just told me actually happened? Is my younger son gonna do something like that?
Like, he got up and he drop
But
kicked
don't
me.
you know your
He
younger
punched
son?
And
me.
you go like, I don't know,
No,
man.
he did not punch you.
And
right?
if he punched you,
kinda
wasn't that
joshing
hard.
me.
He's
Yeah, yeah,
doing
it
I
wasn't-
challenge you
wasn't
on
that hard.
I challenge on that because there was nothing innocent about that fucking kid. He was in a room. He was putting off all kinds of shit.
The
He
And the
Mother
mother
saw
was
none of
never
it.
there.
The
The
mother
mother
saw
was
none of
never
it.
Right,
there.
she's an absentee mother.
No,
Right.
she's not. She's
overly
working.
worked.
She's, but that's
But even
part
when
of
she's
it,
in the
though.
house.
But that's part of it.
See,
kids
so
do all
you're
kinds of
seeing it
crazy
more.
shit,
You're
and
seeing
he's
it
not
more
doing
from
it.
Lindsay Lohan, the daughter's perspective, right?
And the
Which
daughter
is
was
fine.
there.
But remember, the mother has her owner's perspective too, and that was the whole message
That was
of the
the whole
story.
thing.
They both have
Yeah.
hard lives, but in different ways.
Yeah.
And so
I mean, the mother had 25
So
phones.
I will say what I did like about this
Including a
movie.
Palm Pilot.
They
which
all
I think I
start
had.
ringing,
I
and
mean,
she's like,
when she picked them all up, I was like, "What?
And she's like, I need all these
Yeah,
phones.
I like
That
it.
was
I like with the
bullshit.
pilot. I was like, I had one
I
too.
had one.
Yeah.
I had the Palm 685.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was great. What I did like about this movie, though, is that it had a better message, I think, than the other two.
I liked it.
The way they
Oh,
were able
yeah.
to reverse
Oh,
it
definitely.
back
It was good.
was much better than the other
Much
two.
better.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
made
the
way more
speech at the
sense.
end before it was good.
Oh, that was a
It was
lovely
good.
speech. That
Yeah.
was so
It was really
good.
good.
Lovely. I like that. It was a lovely
It was a
speech.
lovely
That was
It was a
what
lot.
it
Warmed
was.
my heart.
Come on. I was like, oh, you know?
It was.
Like they both under. They
Like, it's
now
like
just
we can have our
finally-
own little unit, and you go, our little unit.
It was so good because now, like, the mother and Lindsay Lohan has to go play guitar. She's like, Mom, I got this. Just, I unplugged you. I got this. And it's like, and you see, like, this. She's like, oh my God, my daughter's awesome. Like, she's great at this. And so it's like, and then, yeah, the speech. And it wrapped
Yeah.
up so well.
It did.
Yeah.
I like the fact
love the way
that
it
something,
wrapped
definitely
up.
wrapped
something
up
that I
better
really
than the
liked
other
about
two.
it was that there was an actual honest to God takeaway from this movie. The other ones, it was like, oh, let's switch back. I hate you less now. I like you a little more
There
now,
was a
right?
really good
But this was
takeaway,
like
yeah.
the only way they could change back is when they actually truly understand each other.
Yeah.
And it's like it feels also like good, you know? You're like, yeah. You know,
Yeah,
I'm
the
alright with
family
it.
came together. Mark
Yeah.
Hamill playing the straight fiance was
Awesome!
Which I
perfect.
forgot he was in this movie because I never
He was-
saw this movie, but I knew of the movie.
Wait,
I
what?
completely forgot he was in it.
He was so
Yeah.
good. He
I
was
missed
like, "Look,
something.
I don't know what the hell is going on right now, but
you miss?
you got to figure your shit
You
out."
figure your shit out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was so
What did you
good.
miss?
Was it? No, was it? That's
Mark
not.
Hamill.
That's not Mark
That's
Hamill?
not Mark Hamill.
That's what
Harmon.
Harmon. Mark Harmon.
Mark
I was
Hamill.
like, no, I
Shit,
just
I'm
call him
sorry.
Gibbs.
Mark
Oh.
Harmon.
Yeah,
Mark
yeah.
Harmon.
I was like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Gibbs.
Yeah,
Perfect.
That's
Yeah,
right.
I was
I'm
like,
glad we all know who
I know
Gibbs is.
Gibbs is
Yeah.
in this movie.
Sorry, sorry. Mark Harmon.
Fully
Yeah.
fashioned boat out of a
Not
basement.
Mark
In
Hamill.
fact, I don't know how he did
I was
that. I'm like,
I was like,
mystery.
I didn't
how did
see
he get it
Mark
out? Did he ever
Hamill.
get it out?
My
Yeah,
bad,
he gets
my
it out,
bad.
but that's
Yeah,
what you never
got
know.
you, got you.
He never tells you how he got it out.
How'd he get it out?
That was kind of like that's like one of those little Gibbs mysteries. You don't know how he
Fucking
got it
Wait,
out.
got what out?
The
He
boat.
builds a boat in the
builds a
basement.
boat in the
like one of
basement.
those wooden paneled like boats, like full size.
Half the time
We'll
he's
put
like
it
when you
half the-
when
half
he
the show, the
yeah
first
when he's
season.
not like in the
And all
office.
of a sudden,
He's in the boat.
all of a sudden, she goes down. It's gone.
It's gone. How the
It's
fuck
out
did he
of
get
the
the boat
basement.
out?
The boat.
He fully
Okay.
completed
Well,
it.
you
Back to
simply
Freaky
just
Friday.
no,
Back
that's
to Freaky
obviously
Friday.
Why?
you just disassemble it and put it
Wow, we
back
just talked about
together.
this two
That's right.
episodes
In
already.
fact, so I need to hit on this. I had very weird feelings.
About Lindsay Lohan? Yeah, she's cute.
No, those aren't weird at all. When Jamie Lee Curtis is in the coffee shop with the boy.
Yeah.
Oh. And
That
I
was
think,
fun. Like I
I think they
That
did that
felt
intentionally, right?
weird,
You could
yeah.
see it, then when they panned out and you see everybody else looking at them like, this is kind of fucked up.
It was fucking weird, and
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
didn't
it was
like
really weird.
Like I'm watching
Yeah.
it going, oh my god.
Yeah, I
this
was
is
embarrassed
That was like
for them.
that was like the one plot line that I was like,
And then like he goes like
Yeah.
to chase Jamie. He was like, I just want to be with your mom. What? Fucking weird, dude.
But it was also
that
funny.
whole
It was also
storyline.
funny when they're like, "Shut up already! Oh my god, please stop doing that!" like,
The whole
like, they
storyline
didn't-
took me right out of the fucking movie.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
it was
The whole thing
definitely
is fucking creepy.
in
Yeah, I was
the.
like,
You're absolutely
ugh.
right. In the coffee
Yeah.
shop, I was like, ooh.
I'm like, oh my
Oh,
god.
cringe.
And then
Oh
he's
my
like, hey,
God.
you want to ride? And she's like, okay. And she's all like, I'm like,
But you get it. It's Lindsay Lohan
And then they
in the
ride up
body.
next to Gibbs, and
But
I'm like,
they
no.
are not.
That was hilarious. That was
Self-aware.
like, yeah, I mean, I understand.
Jamie Lee
that.
Curtis did a really good job in
She
that
did.
role.
Too good.
But the issue is that
Yeah.
the mom, Lindsay Lohan in Jamie, she's
Right.
not self-aware at all.
Correct.
What
It's
the
like-
fuck
it's
is
like-
happening?
Yeah.
Again, another trope. The kid is suddenly somehow just not self-aware that
That
they're
you're
a
in the
kid
mother's body
in the
and
adult's body.
You're hooking up with a fucking
But here's the thing, though.
15-year-old.
That's annoying.
But that was
Yeah.
the only time I feel
Yeah.
that she in the adult body did that. Yeah, we have the trope of her going and shopping and getting the ear pierced. And
Again,
all that.
all the
That
credit card
yeah, they get the
issue.
credit cards, sure.
Right.
The big important meetings.
But when she goes to work,
Well, she had to work things.
she had to go
couldn't
work,
deal
and she
with
was like, all right,
anybody.
listen.
Dude, that was so
if
funny.
you have to say anything, just say, tell me how you feel.
Yeah.
And she's like, she goes, so tell me how you feel.
Yeah, that was,
And the guy looks like,
yeah,
"Oh,
she
shut
tried.
up."
She tried.
The guy's like, I just told you how I feel.
Yeah, every time she used and how did that make you feel?
How does that make
It
you
was
feel?
the wrong time. She's like,
Yeah, because she had
how
nothing
did
else
that
to
make
say.
you
hungry,
feel? It's
and
like,
how does that
oh,
make you feel?
It
I just told you.
But at
half
least
hour
like
rant, how
she
does that make her feel?
tried to like
Yes, that's true.
be the person, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Which you don't see
Just try to do
Right,
a
yeah.
good
in the
job
other
and
one.
She
0%.
actually tried.
Yeah.
Oh my God, can you believe it?
right? So
That's all it took.
the acting in this, as we talk, I feel was better than the others.
What also was better
Yes,
too is the
yes.
shopping spree. Like she actually improved her and made her look like she didn't make her look like trash. Like
She made her look like a hippie. I don't know what you're talking
I
about.
think
Very
like the
bohemian.
dress-
I don't know.
Like Stevie
Very
Nicks.
bohemian.
Yeah, but
I
it
think-
works.
I think
it was a vibe.
It works because
I
of
think
where
it was
they
a look.
are. I thought it was a good
It was-
look. Like,
it was-
yeah.
It was the dress and the boots and the nice hair, whatever. It wasn't like she didn't turn her into like a little kid.
Yeah.
In the other movies,
She
like,
didn't
it
get
kinda-
crop
It was
top
like the-
going,
I
the
thought-
short
I thought she was
shorts,
gonna go crop
you
top
know,
goth,
the leather
right?
Right, but she
jacket.
didn't.
No, but that- but crop
Father Like
top
Son, like
goth
Dudley
would've made
Moore
it
looked
better.
too young. When he put on like the blue and he looked
Yeah.
too young.
He looked like an old guy trying to be hip.
Yes.
Where this one, it was kind of like
more
we're-
fashionable,
We're, gonna make you
old, you
fashion
know.
forward.
Yeah.
But I said to Stevie
For a
Nicks, that
woman
she-
her age.
Right. So she makes
Right.
she uses that statement. Goes and look at you. You've got me looking like Stevie Nicks. And she goes, "Who's he?"
Yeah.
I thought it was hilarious.
That
Yeah,
was
that was a
really
good-
good.
that was a
Yeah,
good
that's
line.
Again,
That was
a lot.
good.
So
I
the
saw
writing
that.
in this 10 times better
Much
than the
better.
other ones.
Oh my God.
I'll challenge you quickly, and they're running late. Don't worry about it. So I'll challenge you though. Question for you, and I could be way off the
Yeah.
base. She's in a rock band. How would she not know who Stevie Nicks is?
Easy. Because the
Do you know who
stuff.
Stevie
No,
Nicks
no.
is?
Yes, I do know Stevie Nicks.
She's not
Hold
in a
on.
band.
Wait, how do you know who
You don't
Stevie
have
Nicks
to-
is?
you don't have
Because
to be-
I'm huge on movies. I listen to I meant music and I listen to
Right,
rock all
but
the time. And,
Okay, so what band was she in?
Yeah, but she's not
oh,
so
she's
much
in
a rock.
oh my
mean,
God,
maybe.
no, Fleetwood Mac.
Okay.
But that's my point. She's not in a band.
So
Who is whole
I
life about
challenge-
music.
Do you know anybody else? Like, do you
Yeah.
know who?
But she listens to older music
okay,
like that.
wait a minute. all
I
right.
do listen to older music. It's not really that fair to use me because
I know, because she
I've
just-
always
she
listened to
just-
older music. I listen to like Frank Sinatra, you know, Elvis.
She just got Pink Floyd The Wall, so
Yeah,
I was just
I'm
gonna say
big
that.
on the
Yeah. But
Beatles.
you see what I'm saying?
You
To
know,
me-
I'm
to me,
kind of all over the map.
I could be wrong,
I'm not a
but
good
somebody
comparison.
who's in a band and is that entrenched in music.
Yeah, but sometimes
probably
people
would
are
know who
very.
Stevie Nicks
Hold on,
is.
hold on, hold on.
She was in a
hold on.
punk rock
So the
band.
thing
She
is,
wasn't
yeah,
in-
that's it. That's the thing.
I
is sometimes even though people are in bands or something, that doesn't necessarily mean they're well versed in
I find
other
it hard
genres,
to believe
even
that
in
Stevie
rock.
Nicks is not like
you know,
a
like you find
random
someone
nobody fucking
listening
knows Stevie Nicks.
to, you find someone in
I'm
that
not. It's
band.
music.
Wait,
And I
one
know
at a
Stevie
time.
Nicks
One at a
is.
time. One at a time.
You find someone in a band like that and you ask them about something like, let's say, more hard or metal or something, they're not going to know much.
I get you. I'm
you know,
with you.
there's- it's a
I'm
whole
with you, but I will challenge
spectrum
you.
of
It's
stuff.
Stevie Nicks. Stevie Nicks has been around.
Not everybody knows her.
Sometimes you get
Fleetwood
unlucky in
Mac-
life and haven't heard of Stevie
Fleetwood
Nicks.
Mac is a high. I mean, they're not the Beatles.
Yeah, no, but remember.
But you
they're
may
up
have
there
heard of
with, like-
Fleetwood Mac.
They're up there with.
you know-
like,
I've
run into
the
things like
Rolling
that all the
Stones
time.
do you know
and
who
things like
Roy
that.
Orbison is?
And that's the thing. I've heard the name. I couldn't pin him.
Exactly. Roy
There's so
Orbison,
many people.
hugely
There's just so
famous.
many people.
Roy Orbison.
Do you know who Roy Orbison is?
I know who Roy Orbison.
Like
but
I
he's
know,
not
for
a Fleetwood
example,
Mac.
I know
He's obviously- he
AC/DC.
could
I couldn't
arguably
tell
be-
you who
arguably
the lead
more-
singer is.
different type.
Oh,
different
you
type
know?
of music.
guys,
That's
she
what
just
she
said
said.
it.
Hi.
Say it again.
I love AC/DC. I listen to all them all the time. I couldn't tell you who the lead singer is.
No,
Boom, there it is.
Or the guitarist. I don't remember.
Now you're wondering why. How can she not know who Stevie Nicks is? She can know who Fleetwood Mac is, but doesn't know who Stevie Nicks is.
She can know a Stevie Nicks song without knowing it's Stevie Nicks singing.
I know fuck all about music, and I know who Stevie Nicks is.
Okay, that.
Do you know who
okay.
Angus?
Congrats.
Marco.
You can
You're
talk
also
me
old.
into table about music. I still know who Stevie Nicks
Marco, who's Angus Young?
is. Fucking, I don't know.
Steve Hetfield.
I have no idea.
Those are two lead
But I'm
singers
not
from
a-
AC/DC and Metallica. Arguably some of the biggest
All
bands
right,
in the
so
world.
time out. I'm gonna,
Yeah.
hold on,
I'm
hold
not
on, hold on.
music.
So you're wrong.
That's proven.
Okay.
James
Oh,
Hetfield.
there you go.
James Hetfield, that's right.
Yeah.
Sorry, not
Okay,
Steve
Yeah,
Hetfield.
I was like, wait a minute.
Angus
Yeah,
Young is
my
the
bad.
guitarist.
But I'll revert back to
From
my original
AC/DC.
statements.
Right.
I'll
Yeah.
revert back to
So-
my
Yeah,
original
you're right.
F
statements.
off. No.
But no, but like he still,
But the point
Right,
is,
but the
all I'm
whole
saying.
point is, I'm not in a band. Music is not my life.
But it- you
if
don't
you were, and I'm not in movies, but if you start asking me movie people, like who this person, where they play, I will tell you
Okay.
all day.
So
That's
the
you.
thing
Tell me
is,
this actor
That's you.
and what movie they play, and I'll tell you.
So, when Jamie Lee Curtis is sitting in the coffee shop with the boy, now again, this is the daughter in her, they're going back and forth between bands. If you pay attention to the bands, they're all punk bands. None of them are,
Whatever
the
you categorize
Beatles or Fleetwood Mac or,
You're right, yeah.
or the Mamas and the Papas. So
They're all very
that's-
specific genre.
It's a very specific genre that they're talking
with
about.
you.
So that's the genre that she knows.
I know
Now-
we're going like a wicked rabbit hole here.
Right.
I get it.
No,
but that's what we do.
no,
I
but
think
the thing
he's
is-
just trying to explain why she may potentially not have
Not
known
know.
who Stevie Nicks is.
And just
Yeah.
because, I mean, it's not. It's not
It's not in her
It's
genre.
not her genre. It's not in her
Yeah.
wheelhouse. She's like, I
Really
don't fucking
simple.
know.
Yeah,
I mean,
just
I know
simple.
music, but I couldn't tell you about big country people. I don't fucking know.
She could easily have known Fleetwood Mac. I'll be aware of them.
Yeah.
Liked some of their songs even, but not know who the singers
Who,
are.
I mean,
Right?
it's so easy to just not have that knowledge.
Yeah,
it's so
just
easy
based
not
on
to.
my knowledge of how much I know Stevie Nicks is, how popular Stevie Nicks is.
but is she
Like, how,
popular
like,
because of
well
her, or
known.
is she popular because of the band?
Her, because she has like a life and a career almost outside the band.
Oh, no,
she
that
has
I
a
know.
name
Oh, I know.
outside the band.
Oh, I know.
But
couldn't
it's
tell
still-
you,
it's still
you
totally
put on
feasible.
You put on a Fleetwood Mac song or album or Stevie Nicks, I fucking couldn't tell you. You would tell
You don't
who
know
sings
from-
this.
Although the thing is,
No idea.
you
Who's-
can't say
who's
it's
Stevie Nicks? I know Stevie
impossible
Nicks
not
is.
to know who Stevie Nicks
Right.
is.
Yeah.
You can't
No,
say it's impossible.
No, it's not impossible. But somebody who's that entrenched in music, you would just assume, yeah, you probably know who they are.
Well, they'll find out soon.
Yeah, eventually.
Not
They'll figure it
necessarily.
out.
She's also
still in high school.
15 or 16.
Yeah.
So she's probably just beginning her musical interests, and she's been doing it for a couple years probably. It's not like she knows.
She started with the Ramones and the White Stripes.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
White Stripes. She
Well, that's
even
what they're
named
talking
a
about.
bunch
She
of the.
said the Ramones. She was like,
bunch
okay,
of
the Ramones. She's like, oh my god, the Ramones.
She's
White
like
Stripes.
ska
And then-
punk.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's like this close to discovering Stevie Nicks.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's
she's
not even
about
in-
to.
I mean,
you know.
She's also young. She's not in her 30s where she's been doing into music for 20 years. You know, it's not like that.
And not
Yeah,
for
it
nothing,
just
that's
strikes me as odd.
She's young.
that's a weird craw to sit on too. Like that's where you stick your flag,
You
huh?
met me.
Yeah, it's a weird
I mean,
hill.
yes,
Yeah.
that's
Fucking
a weird hill, dude.
It's a weird hill to die on.
Batmobile
Batmobile,
fetish.
I know, but that's understandable.
I liked it. Why does
Yeah,
it
but you
get
know what?
more and more every time
No,
we bring
we haven't
up
brought that up in
you
a
bring up the
while, so-
Batmobile?
We haven't brought
Posters
that
and
up in a
shit of this
while.
thing on her wall. Tumblr posters everywhere on her wall.
But I mean, her not knowing who Stevie
Took her
Nicks
an extra
is.
hour to get out of her dorm.
Larry's
My
right.
ringtone's
Larry's
literally
right, though.
just
Like,
hit
it's
revving
a
up.
weird hill to die on.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's just-
it is a weird hill to
she
die
doesn't
on.
know
Yeah.
Steve. Fuck this.
God damn it,
Shut.
flipping the table.
That's
don't
the
buy her
worst movie
music.
I've ever
I don't
seen.
buy her
How have
band
you not heard of
music
Stevie
club.
Nicks and all
Yeah,
four songs
yeah.
I
Hang on a
listened to?
second. We saw a movie where an ancient, Chinese thing made them switch bodies, but you're not buying that she didn't know who Stevie Nicks was.
Not if I don't buy. No, I don't buy
That's
her.
where Marco draws
I don't
the
buy
line.
her love of music and being so entrenched in music.
Pathetic.
Stevie Nicks is.
No, you're
It's sad.
pathetic.
Sad.
Oh
You
my
know
God.
what?
You
F
call
this
yourself a
movie.
musician?
It's sad.
Pathetic.
You know what?
I
Yeah,
can't
I
believe
changed my
this.
mind. This movie sucks.
You know what?
There it
Fun
is.
fact: both
hate this
both
movie
Lindsay
now.
Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis learned to play the guitar for this movie.
So I was wondering if they actually did because
That- it looked
during the-
like it.
Well, here's the thing though.
A
during
When
little
they were in the
lead, yeah.
garage, Lindsay Lohan was playing.
all right, because so like,
Okay,
It
when
looked
they're
like
playing
it
it,
looked like it.
I don't know. There were certain times I'm watching going, that note seems like it should be down here, not up here. So why is your hand further up on the fret?
I mean,
Like
she
it was
might have.
I mean,
Certainly on stage, she wasn't doing it. She was messing around. She was
Yeah,
playing-
yeah, yeah, yeah.
She
that
was
was
kinda on
literally
the
like
nose.
holding the whole fretboard with her entire hand.
right, that's like the whole hand. She's just
like weird strumming, like nowhere
just
along
going
with
like-
the music.
but she was supposed to be doing that, right? To make it look like.
But when you watch them in the garage, she looked to me like she was playing.
So my
the
guess
actual
is, and
solo.
not every note, like, so basically my guess is a lot of the garage was Foley. It was done afterwards. They re-recorded it.
Oh, for sure they re-recorded
So she's
it.
Oh, definitely,
really
yeah.
playing,
Yeah,
but it
yeah.
might not match every note they wanted her to
Yeah.
play.
Yeah.
But they had to train her enough to look like
To look like she knew what she was doing.
doing.
Sell it
And
instead
she
of-
just be like,
She sold it. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
she was able to sell it based on her training.
Because it's really
But she
hard
wasn't
to
really-
fake play
she
an
really wasn't-
instrument.
It was the
Because
recording. wasn't what
especially
she
people
was
who
playing.
You
play
play
that instrument.
instruments.
Yeah, I play instruments, and it's funny. It's like you see some people like in certain movies or shows. I couldn't name any right now, but I've seen it before, and I'm like, no.
Not
That
playing
doesn't
that.
look right.
Put that down right now. You are
Yeah.
not playing that right.
Yeah.
So
Stop doing whatever that is.
one thing that I liked about this, and we kind of touched on when we talked about like the little brother and the grandfather, Mark Harmon. The supporting cast in this was awesome.
Oh my
good.
God, yeah.
Like-
You actually
Really
have
good.
good like
in the
characters on
other
the side.
movies, you have your two mains, right? The father and the son, the parent, the child.
And everybody else is
Holy
nobody.
Ghost.
Their immediate connection, so it's like the girlfriend or the other mother, and then everybody else.
Right.
In this
Yeah.
one, it was the mother, the daughter, the brother, the boyfriend slash soon-to-be stepfather, the grandfather, the people at the restaurant, the best friends,
The love interest.
the love
Star-studded
interest.
cast.
I mean,
I
oh
love
yeah. Oh, the cast.
There's a lot
The
going
There's an
on.
actual cast
The
too.
patient,
Was. Yeah, you're right.
Was the teacher? The patient is there every day.
Oh yeah, that guy. Ed or
Oh my
something.
God! What's his name? He was
It
so
was like
good.
it's something with an E. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll look it up because
Eddie?
he's
No.
famous.
He's so good.
He's
That was
famous. He's
really
been in a
funny.
ton of
When he
stuff.
came
I'll
out,
look
I
it up.
said his name. I was like, oh my God, it's.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I
So
forgot.
and so, such and such.
Yeah, I'll look it up.
And we go,
He
oh my
played-
God.
He played a neurotic patient so well.
Yeah. So I mean, like
You gonna answer that?
everybody-
Oh, I knew it. You wouldn't
I
answer
knew
my
you guys-
calls.
Yeah. Was that? That
You had
wasn't David.
Steven Tobolowsky's in this. He
So-
played the teacher who was like headed out for
So,
her.
yeah,
Willie
there's-
Garson is his name. He played Evan. Willie Garson
Yeah.
is the actor's name. Hey, stop messing with things. Hey, stop,
It's
stop touching things.
You hear that, right?
Yes, I do hear that. Stop touching stuff. I don't know if they can hear it, but I can hear it definitely. Oh, you have the green one. Maybe that's the problem. We'll switch it out for the red ones afterwards.
Okay.
Or just switch out for the red one now.
Just keep pulling it, huh?
I don't know. I'm trying to play with it, see the good angle.
Here, is this yours?
So
Unplug
So,
it. Okay.
I think at the end of the day, the acting was much better
Much
than the other
better.
two. The writing I thought was a lot
A
better.
lot better. There were so many things. I mean, none. I didn't write too many like bullet points on this because again,
He passed away.
It's just the same. Who
Yeah,
did?
he did.
Oh, no way.
The Willie Garson. He passed away last year, last September 2021.
What?
Well, not last year, 2 years ago.
No
wow.
way.
Yeah, 2021. Yeah,
Still happening.
still happened. Maybe it's just the output.
Maybe it's just me.
Maybe it's not you at all.
No, it's not you. Right there.
Also, it's mine.
Oh, it's yours?
It's
Nope,
mine.
it's not yours.
A little technical difficulties here, Lindsay.
Sorry.
That's me. It's mine. Yeah. Oh, well, I don't hear it because I'm not plugged
No, I
in.
can still hear it. Is it still going? Can you hear it?
Yeah, it's still going.
Still
All right,
going.
so it's not
I.
mine. All right, we'll pull these down and see what happens.
Oh, we can wrap and figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure it
I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, I think we've all agreed, except for Marco, that this
Yeah.
is the best of the three.
I think it's
Yeah.
best of the three.
You know,
Definitely.
I like the message. I like the way, like I said, I like the way that they handle the switch. I like the way that they switched back. It gave us a message. It was a
So let me put it out there.
yeah.
It's definitely the best of the three.
Okay.
It's just not my favorite.
It's not your
Out of the
favorite.
three.
And that's fine. They're all,
Like, Fire Like
they're
That
all
is
not so
my
good.
favorite. This isn't a movie I would go back and watch.
Yeah.
But I can see why this is a better movie
Yeah.
than the other two.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
The story is better. The message is much better. You know, the acting is much better. The reason, how they get in and out of the problem is way better.
Yeah.
It's just not one what I would go back to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's fair.
And that's fair, yeah.
But and part of it, and I'll be straight up honest with you, is like I'm a guy.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's a female point of view. It's a female angst, and from female issues, that has to be talked. That has to be made. This movie has to be made.
Right.
But it wasn't designed for me.
It had to be
It wasn't
remade.
aimed at me. You know what I mean? It's not my point of view.
More current.
I can't identify with her issues.
Mm-hmm.
I can identify more with Kirk Cameron's issues You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is my guy. There's no way around it. That's just the way it is. Doesn't make it worse or better, but I can see, like I said, I can see why this is a better movie.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So my rating will definitely be higher than like Father Like Son.
So
because it is a better movie.
Since we're on these topics and about these movies, have any of you seen Dream a Little Dream? All right, same exact idea. Corey Feldman's in it.
Yeah, yes.
Corey Feldman, and I can't remember who the old guy is. So the old guy is like the old curmudgeon old neighbor who's just an asshole. And it's like Corey Feldman comes walking by and his buddies and it's like, yeah, old man, like you don't know what you're talking about. Like you're like blah blah blah. And they do this like they go. I haven't seen it in years, but
Jason
it was like,
Robards
is the old man.
Yeah, he was the guy from Max Dugan Returns.
Yes, so. Like, they do the whole
And Corey Haim's in this one, too.
Of course. It's the Coreys.
They have to be together.
Yeah. So during that time, it's like Corey Feldman goes into the old man, and it's the same
Harry
exact
Dean Stanton.
thing.
Yeah.
Harry Dean Stanton.
You know, but I'm wondering, like, after I watched these, I was like, oh my God, that's another one. It was kind of like the same tropey 80s acting.
It's amazing that in the 80s they made 3 or 4 of these movies.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
I'm glad you said
They
because
still do that today.
So here's the
You
thing.
had Armageddon and Deep Impact. You have, you know what I mean? Like
That's only 2.
No, but
They made 4 plus.
No, what I'm saying is you have like the
That is funny,
slew
hold
of
on.
natural disaster. You went all the way down to Hard Rain. You know what I mean? With what's his name there?
Yeah, but it's I mean,
You know what I mean?
they literally
they keep making these tornado movies and things and
Yeah.
twisters and.
But those are
because
sequels.
what happens
Those
is
are
a
sequels.
script is. No. There's
No, he's saying
Twister,
there's-
but then like Deep Impact's a different movie. Hard Rain was a different one. You know, Christian Slater. Yeah, Christian Slater's in Hard Rain. So like in Hollywood, you'll have a script and like a bunch of other scripts get the same. You're like, oh, we're gonna do disaster movies, and they write all these scripts and they sell them all.
guess
They kind
so.
of like go through this trope.
Yeah,
now
I mean,
it
it's just
happens to be superhero movies.
These scripts are just tremendously similar, right? Just
Yeah.
tremendous. Well, we just talked about the tropes again. It's
Yeah.
all the same. You get the credit cards, and you get the makeover, and you get the important scene, and you get the
But
kissing.
these movies were
that's
far
awkward.
apart. Like this, like the original 2 that we talked about were in the 80s. This
within a
one's
few.
2003.
Yeah.
So it was a good.
Right, but so-
I remember
somebody in 2002 saw these other 2 movies,
Yeah,
like,
it's
oh,
like, I got-
let's do a
Time
remake.
to bring it back again. Yeah.
But wait a minute, here's the thing though, because like Mila watched the 1976 version of what was the name of that one?
Wait, Freaky Friday?
Yeah, what was the name of it?
It was Freaky Friday
Oh,
as well.
No, that's what we just watched. What was the name of?
Yeah.
I know, I'm playing it. So not only did they
Listen,
remake the
Larry, they're
movie,
coming. We don't have time.
I'm like,
for
wait
this.
a minute.
not only did they remake the movie, but they didn't. Wow,
Turn yours down.
disconnect.
Turn it down. Turn it down.
Not only did they remake the movie, but they took the name from it too. It was like they named
Right.
it things like. But I'm
Yeah.
glad you brought that up because I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, every
like we
time.
sit there and talk about the movies that are coming out now, going, "Wow, how fucking original are you that you're literally just remaking another movie from 15 years ago?"
Yeah.
We just, those vice versa and Like Father Like Son were a year fucking apart from each other.
So it was Dream a Little Dream.
Dream a Little Dream. So it's all literally all within what, 9 months of each other?
Yeah.
So it's like, it was funny because I thought the same thing. I was like, oh my God. So it's like, hey, that's a great idea, but we're going to make it an our movie house. And we
Yeah.
have a bigger budget.
Yeah.
We have better actors. We're going to do it different. We're going to make
we'll
more
do it
money.
better.
We'll do it better. No, you both sucked.
I don't know. I mean, I thought Freaky Friday was good. I
But
like
Freaky
it.
Friday, so Disney is behind Freaky Friday.
Well, they chose better actors. They wrote a script that
they have
stuck
Disney
together.
money.
Yeah.
Right, they had that
and,
Disney
and then
money.
they threw money at it.
Yeah, so I mean,
I appreciate
like
Rat
it.
money.
As I appreciate as a volleyball player when they did the volleyball scene
Oh, that was
that they completely they didn't even pretend to try to make them play volleyball.
No.
You see like a super close up of her hitting the ball, then a super close up of Lindsay Lohan getting smashed in the head with
Yeah.
it. And I was like, okay, I get it. You're trying to show that they're playing volleyball, but you're not trying to actually show them playing volleyball because I know that would not go well.
So it
Yeah.
would have been
Yeah.
better
There's
off.
a bunch of actors who
So-
probably never played
so here-
Who never
volleyball.
played
So here's
volleyball. It's
the
like the
thing.
Top Gun volleyball scene, which is absolutely horrible.
That's great.
Which is amazing. It's amazing. Don't get me wrong. But like they're not playing.
They're not playing. Yeah.
Anything
So when I saw
volleyball-like.
that, I'm thinking in my
It
head.
resembles volleyball except for the net and the ball.
When you first see Lindsay Lohan get hit in the head, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, well, that's a killer spike.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a killer spike. And then you realize they're on the same team. I'm like, well, wait a minute, how the fuck did she's on the same team? So in order for that girl Stacy to
turns
hit
around,
her,
throws it at
like,
her.
how does she?
It was probably they're all in class or at practice and playing against each other. So frequently you'll scrimmage against your own team.
Okay, but right.
But she was on
then
the
in
same side of the court, you're saying?
No,
we don't know where she was.
Because in the very next scene when Lindsay Lohan goes to do it,
They're on the same side of the
they're on
court.
the same side. Because Lindsay Lohan's going to serve.
And pegs her in the back of the
And pegs her in
head.
the back of the head.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
So somehow...
She hit in the side of the head, which was
Somehow-
like beside her and got her from the side of the
That's
head.
even
Yeah.
worse.
Right, so
somehow...
it's like-
Yeah. See, she
her,
was turned
her
around.
nemesis would turn and swing
purposefully-
at Lindsay Lohan's head, which
It's
is
like a
hilarious.
side.
Which is hilarious.
Like, I can understand if she was on the other side and they showed that she was on the other side. Like, you know what? Fuck her. I'm going to spike it up. I'm going
Right.
to bang it right on her, right?
Right.
No,
So
they were
this
on
is
the
even
same
worse
side.
because she's turning to swing at her own player.
Yeah, she's like, oh, look, dunk, my bad. Well, so what? You're just going to suck?
Beans her in the head.
Yeah,
I'm
you just-
sorry, but she didn't say anything. If somebody did that to you twice,
I'd fuck
be
her
like,
up.
Dude, you do that again, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Yeah.
Ever do that? I'd make a fucking stink.
Nah, I don't know that teenage girls do that so much. I don't think they.
It's more like
they
a
don't
silent
confront
venom, as I've heard.
Really?
Look, guys.
Yeah, I'm not part of it,
Guys-
but that's usually
I'm
how
not
it
part
goes.
of it.
But
I've coached boys and girls both at the high school level, at college level. When men have issues with other men, they straight out confront them. Hey man, you're a fucking asshole, quit it. And the other guy will be like, well, fuck you. Women don't. So
It's true.
Women,
can confirm.
if this little story were to play out in a practice that I was running, I would never know about it. I would
So it
never
basically
know.
happened like it happened,
I would never
essentially.
know about
So,
the
yeah, I
issue.
mean,
It
yeah.
happened just like
That's awesome.
because one
Yeah, I
girl
didn't
would
know that.
spike at another,
Not a woman.
and the girl that hit the ball at Lindsay Lohan's character would be like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry," and I'd be
Twice.
like, "Yeah, twice." And,
Yeah.
and, you know, if you're a good
God, I
coach,
suck at
if
this.
you're a good coach, you're like, "Stop hitting the ball at her."
Like, what are you doing? Go over the net? Not to
Right.
But then for sure, Lindsay
All goes that way,
Lohan's
genius.
Lindsay Lohan's character would be like, no, coach, it's fine. I'm sure it was a mistake. And as a coach, you're like, I can't say anything because you're telling me it's a mistake. Now I can't yell at her. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then
For-
later on, they argue
their
and
own
fight
thing.
with words.
Yeah.
The girls in high school and college use words, and it's worse. And so a lot of kids. That's why you see a lot of issues with kids like wanting to commit suicide because you're not. If it just boys getting bullied, they're bullied physically usually, not always.
Yeah, yeah.
And then a lot of girls that are bullied with words.
With
and
words
that's a
and
lot
emotional,
worse,
yeah.
and it's really hurtful.
Yeah.
And so it's harder. Honestly,
And harder, like,
I think it is
prove and shit,
harder
you know
to
what I
be
mean?
a high school
Yeah.
girl than it would be to be a high school boy. Just given like the bullying and the way it's bullied. I think it's much more difficult. Just as a coach, having seen it happen, I buy that nobody did anything.
Wow.
Yeah,
Insight.
it's
I like
horrible.
insight.
It's an issue. As
I
a
like
coach,
insight.
I've always got to keep an eye out for something like that to make sure it's not happening as much as I can help it.
Beautiful part in here. We're just like, all right, they're bothering you, just kick them.
Kick him.
Kick them hard. Drop them.
Yeah,
Put the gloves
yeah.
on.
Drop 'em.
Let's go. Put the
Yeah.
gloves on.
Oh yeah.
But
Drop
it
them hard.
doesn't work like that in like social environments in high school.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
hard.
And here's just drop them.
Yeah.
All right, what else? Talk to me. What do we think of the? We talked about the wrap up ending, so we don't really need to go there.
I
I like the music.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna go.
Oh yeah.
So,
I like the
I mean,
music.
great.
That's definitely that era type music.
I was in a punk band. Like I liked it. It was really
know,
fun. It was really good.
I'm not, but I actually enjoyed the music.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
even the
so-
last
so you're
song,
saying-
I'm like, Amy's like, "You done watching it?" I'm like, "No, the song's playing."
Songs
really
like, so
good.
I wouldn't look at their music and call it quote unquote punk.
No.
So like you say to me punk and I'm like, oh,
It's
Ramones,
not- it's
Sex
not
Pistols,
really
like
punk.
that's the
Oh,
real.
yeah, that's punk. That's
real
punk.
Yeah, but
Not
this
like
is punk
Blink
inspired.
Well, this is like Blink 182. It's not
Yeah, but
bubblegum.
that's new age punk.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
okay.
just the reality.
I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Dino, see, you
But I
don't
know who
know.
Stevie Nicks is.
Of course you do.
That's
just
your
the reality
one.
of it.
No, I
one
get that.
White Stripes, you know,
I'm,
it's
I'm
not
glad,
really
I'm
punk.
glad that they finally though like changed what it's called because when all that was Sum 41, Blink,
Yeah.
people were referring to that as actual
punk rock. Punk
and I'm
rock.
like, that's not real punk. I mean, Ramones and Sex. Like, again,
Well, yeah, but remember, the Ramones and Sex Pistols, they were seeding punk, right? They were the original.
Yeah. Also
And
think
then
of it
now
like names.
everything evolves.
Names have changed over time.
The
Like the
names have
Beatles were
changed.
pop, and then they're rock. Now they're classic
Now they're
rock. Like they've
classic.
just
Yeah,
changed
that's
all
because
I
the
got
literally
older.
heard Guns N' Roses on Muzak in an
Oh,
elevator. And
yeah.
I was like, I cannot believe this is
Oh, yeah,
happening
it's
right
like
now.
Guns N'
classic, and
Roses
I'm
on
like,
the
are you
elevator.
fucking
Yeah.
kidding me?
In the elevator as Muzak. I was like, what?
Appetite for Destruction was the very first tape I ever bought. It's
So good.
and it's probably one of the best albums ever.
It's amazing,
Like it's that's such a great album.
Yeah.
And my criteria for a perfect album is give me 5 songs off that album. Anything less than 5?
Nobody listens to full albums anymore. I think it's a crying shame.
So here's the
Did you
thing.
ever listen to Queensryche album straight through?
No, I'm not.
I'm trying to keep the dream alive.
I like Queensryche.
with collecting
There's
albums.
a couple of good tunes. But so like my criteria, when people say that's a good album, my criteria is if you can give me 5 songs off that album, then yeah, that's a good album.
That's fair.
If you
That's
give me
reasonable.
like 3 songs, I'm like, no, those are 3 singles.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd say 3 songs is pretty solid for an album of 7, 8, 10 songs. Like
You got
it's
kinda-
hard to write.
Whoa,
It's
wait
hard
a
to
minute.
write.
That's kinda
no,
low
look, like,
standards.
it's hard to write. It's hard to write a hit song.
Fair enough, but
You hit
if
3 off
wait,
your album, it's good.
Appetite for Destruction had almost 20 songs.
Yeah, I know.
So
It
if
was
you only give me
amazing. No,
3
look.
I mean,
Appetite-
maybe like 16, maybe something.
No, no. It had like 10 or 11 songs, maybe 12. It did not have 16 songs.
I'm going to it. Hold on.
But it doesn't even matter because that album had like 8 or 9 hits, right? So right there, it's just you nailed it. They crushed it.
Every song.
Yes, but like when you get a regular like AC/DC's their first album came out and they had like what? Oh, they had like 5 or 6 hit songs. I mean, it was big. And look, you can. I think for me, I draw the bar at 3 songs off an album. If you have 3 hit songs out, that you did a good job.
12
For
songs.
me,
12 songs.
for me, it's not 3. 3, I've
mean,
listened to
that's
so
a
many that I'm
hard-
like,
it's a
why?
hard mark
Why
to
stop
touch.
at 3? If you got 3, I'm only going to listen to those 3 songs and probably not that bad.
No, but here's what used to happen.
But wait,
Here's- here's-
three songs off of 12. 3 songs off of a 12.
25%.
It's 25%.
That's good.
That's failing.
Oh, it
How
will-
fuck off. 25%.
Even 5 songs off of 12 is less than 50%.
Right, but it's what? I just got.
So
Asshole. Sorry, I just got a text from my. Anyway, that was always just my criteria. So when
I
I,
have
when I get an
also
album like
just some
that,
good ones.
that's why I go. Hey,
I
that was
think
a really
when you
good
get an album with 5+ hit songs, you're fucking awesome.
Oh yeah, I mean,
you're doing.
Yeah, but look at all the, like
you're
if you look
doing
at,
great.
All right, Led Zeppelin, 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
and 4.
Yeah.
so
Oh, yeah.
fucking good.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Like,
no,
those are
that's
great
bangers only.
albums, right?
Led Zeppelin makes bangers only.
I mean, yeah, that's just kind of this shit.
They just keep
They've
rolling
also
it.
had many, many more years to have those be developed into big, big, big songs, right? So here's the point I was going to make a few minutes ago was that in the 80s, we were listening to albums. We weren't able to stream singles.
Yeah.
You could go buy a single in the store, and then you buy the single.
Singles started becoming big, I think, like in the
Yeah.
on the
Oh,
90s.
yeah,
back,
no,
on the
albums-
back of the
albums are
single, there was
dying.
another one they're trying to push, right? So whether it's a record or whether it's a tape, you had that tape
Yeah.
singles. You could buy the tape single on one side, and then on the back would be
Was the B-side.
a B-side.
Right, yeah.
And so, but for the most part, it was not easy until we got like really advanced tape players where they could fast forward and stop at the beginning of the next song.
Yeah.
And that technology didn't come around for like 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
And it was
So-
gone for like 2 seconds because
and it
like
was
CDs came out.
because CDs
right?
came around. But so you had to listen essentially to the whole album, like it or not. And so then
Yeah.
you like the first
You keep
1 or 2
fast-forwarding, nope,
songs.
that's not it, nope,
You
that's
always
not it,
lead
nope,
off
that's
with
it.
your hit songs, and then you listen to the rest of the album.
Get your fillers.
And get your fillers on the 1 or 2 songs in the back
in the
that were
back
big.
end, you're like,
and then you listen
because
to
now you gotta
everything
listen to
else.
the whole album to get to the back
And
end.
as you listen to the album, you learn to like more of those songs.
Right,
And it's,
right.
you just kind of, and then
Victim
more
of
people.
circumstance.
Yeah.
Yeah, after listening to it a ton of
Victim of
times, you start to go,
circumstance.
yeah.
That's exactly right.
Man.
So, with the music for this movie, I thought was good.
Yeah.
One of the things I liked how when you see the little boy and the old man and they're arguing,
Oh,
and
yeah.
you see the grandmother come,
coming out the-
Cookie, and I'm going, oh shit!
Yeah.
And then the daughter comes in and tackles her.
Tackles her.
I thought it was so
awesome.
good because they set it up like, oh
Not
shit,
again.
we're gonna see this again. Like, no!
Yeah, you Friday
And then they
too,
stop it, right? So I mean,
Yeah.
I liked again. From beginning to end, I thought it was a well thought out movie. They actually put thought into this. They wrote it right. They not too many. I mean, was there really any plot holes? I don't really.
I mean, there weren't any big ones that I happened to
Right,
see.
nothing.
No, I mean,
I'm sure there were
dig
some,
deep
but I
enough,
didn't see
yeah,
anything.
but-
Right, but
Yeah.
but I feel that if
It was
if,
pretty
if,
glaring
if-
ones.
right, no glimmerings. If nothing had to
pretty
jump
good.
out at
creepy
you,
plot lines with
fucking creepy.
Oh, yeah. They weren't plot holes. They were plot something.
It was uncomfortable. But I mean, that was part of the
uncomfortable.
plot. It was intended to make you feel uncomfortable when they're in the coffee shop and she's a grown adult.
It
and he's-
was,
Turns
yeah.
into a fucking stalker.
I'm glad the fact that it was
Everywhere.
intended to be uncomfortable.
But Jamie
I'm
Lee
glad that it
Curtis
was because
did-
sometimes they
doing
build
high
it so it's
fidelity outside her
not,
house.
and you go,
Yeah.
this is even more uncomfortable that
Yeah.
you're not making it
It should
uncomfortable.
be uncomfortable.
You know,
It should be. And here's the thing too that I liked about this one that didn't happen in the other ones. And the other ones, boy sees girlfriend make out with the other person, does nothing. This one, Mark Hamzeri's like, listen, I don't know what the fuck's going on with you.
Yeah.
But if you need to work some shit out,
Yeah, figure it out.
I like how he was kind of not like the idiot boyfriend guy. He,
Yes.
you know, he's
Right.
just like, dude, listen.
Yeah, he
you've got,
wasn't the standard idiot
you've got
trope,
your
unaware
own fucking
boyfriend.
issues.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And if this is going to be how it is, then maybe I don't want to marry you. And I was like, oh, shit.
He was
Yeah.
like the mature voice of reason.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. And
So
he wasn't
again-
just like a pushover, you know?
Right.
He's lenient, but then it's like, look, really?
I mean, again,
He's like, you got your shit you're working through. Why
I
don't you
get
do
it.
that?
Handle your business.
Yeah, and then maybe we'll talk.
And then
Yeah.
we'll talk in a minute, you know? So, I mean,
Awesome.
again, it was part of the whole supporting cast. Everything about this made me
Good.
go,
Yeah.
oh, this was good.
I would watch it again.
Yeah.
All right, so let's give our rating.
There it is, ratings.
Mila.
3.
Three what? 3 guitars? What are we giving it?
3 guitars.
3 fortune cookies.
Three
Fortune
earthquakes.
cookies!
Fortune cookies.
I love
I give
All
it
right,
3
Larry.
fortune cookies.
Super racist.
Wow.
Oh, it's just that and then radio silence.
Wow. Fuck me.
Super racist to suggest fortune cookies.
No, that's what the fortune cookies was all about.
I'm just kidding.
You asshole.
Can't take it back.
Fortune cookies didn't have an
You know,
unfortunate accent.
I'm gonna go with a 3.5. 3.5 fortune cookies.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I was
No,
thinking 3.
too late.
No, it's too late. No, 3. 3 is my final answer.
Yeah, I like 3.5.
You want to phone a friend? All right, I'm going to go 3.5 too.
You're the
I can't
outlier.
agree- I can't agree with Mila. I just can't. It's a moral thing.
Usually I wouldn't give it 3, but she already said 3, so.
I can't. It's a morality.
You mind.
It's a morality thing. I can't just sit there. On principle. I can't
know,
agree
right?
with Mila.
I just can't agree. Whatever you did, I'm not going with.
Not until she takes those damn Batmobile posters off her fucking wall. Anyway.
I won't. I will never.
Those Tumblr posters
That's
coming
another
out.
hill he's dying on.
Oh
Yeah.
my god! But we know that one
The
already.
hill you die on
I have a
is
lot of
that
hills.
It's been a
I
year of
love the
listening to
Tumblr
that
so
shit.
much.
I love a lot of
A
hills.
year of the Tumblr. Fuck me.
I go like, man, I thought it was really cool, and you're
No,
like,
I haven't talked
It's
about it in a while.
2023. Let's move
you
on.
brought it up.
That's what I'm saying. I
But it
haven't
hasn't
talked
been,
about it in
been
quite
brought
a
up in a
while.
while.
That's because I haven't been on the show.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
This
Because
is
I haven't
right.
been here in a while.
Welcome back, Mila.
That's why we haven't talked about it in a while.
Welcome back, everybody. All right, gang. Thank you so much. Thank you, Bruno.
Thank you.
Thank you, Larry.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tumblr.
Thanks.
Mila.
Thank you, Mila.
Thanks.
got a new
Thanks.
nickname.
Appreciate it. Anytime.
We are Entertainment Rants at entertainmentrants.com. We thank everybody for listening. We will be having the three geeky dads plus a Tito coming in
Next time.
Yeah, so their next episode, look for that episode. We're going to be talking about trading places with Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy. I can't fucking wait. I love
should be
this
a good
movie.
one.
Yeah, there's going to be 8 people not wanting to let anybody else talk to them at this table. Should be awesome.
I can't
Is
wait.
anybody else talking? I don't care.
I don't care.
This will be
I will
awesome.
mute all of you.
Fantastic. All right, gang. Thanks for listening. What are we going to go out there and do, everybody?
Rant, let's
Rant.
rant.
Let's
Ranting.
talk it up. Let's chat.